The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Steffi and Finn's lives once again take a dramatic turn as secrets, misunderstandings, and twists and turns pile up. The story begins with Steffi suddenly discovering Finn, her husband whom she had just decided to divorce after learning that he had a child named Luna, appearing in the office drunk. It seemed like a tense encounter, but it led to a terrible tragedy when Finn, who had liver cancer, passed away forever due to serious complications from excessive drinking. This departure not only left Steffi in pain, but also raised many questions. Can Steffi live with a feeling of regret for the rest of her life? What will happen next when the Forrester family and those related to Finn face this unexpected truth? Below, we will go into the most detailed analysis of each idea, with the desire to recreate the entire development and emotions of the characters in a dramatic situation. This article will expand on the content, context, character psychology, and consequences in order to provide a more comprehensive perspective on this shocking event. Although it only revolves around a few details, they are the core details, pushing the characters into an unpredictable situation and changing their fate. The drama begins when Luna, a young girl, suddenly appears and reveals that Finn is her biological father. This incident not only shocks Steffi, but also disrupts the entire family. Luna is the result of a past relationship of Finn's, a relationship that he did not expect or thought was over. Steffi initially did not believe that Finn had a child that he had never mentioned. She raised a series of questions. Why did Finn hide it? Does he really not know, or is he deliberately hiding it for fear of everything collapsing? Even when Finn insists that he has no idea about Luna's existence, cracks begin to appear. Steffi has always been insecure after past emotional traumas. She fears that Luna's appearance is not just a simple truth, but that it can also change the entire foundation of her marriage with Finn. She begins to doubt, not knowing who and what to believe. Are Finn's words of love just a cover for old stories that he doesn't want to mention? When Luna's appearance causes a stir, Finn cannot deny his responsibility as a father. He has to arrange time to find out about Luna's current situation, resolve the issue of adoption, and plan for the future. Finn's priority for Luna, instead of giving it all to Steffi, unintentionally makes Steffi feel abandoned. Although Finn did not want to lose Steffi, his responsibility to Luna was something he could not refuse. Steffi, after many days of stress and psychological fatigue, came to a heartbreaking decision: divorce Finn. She believed that if Finn could not be honest with her about the past and prioritize other issues over explaining clearly to her, their relationship would sooner or later fall apart. Despite deciding to divorce, both Steffi and Finn have not officially filed papers with the court. The reason could be that both are still too confused or still have feelings. Or maybe they want more time to consider. At this point, legally, Steffi is still Finn's wife, but emotionally, it seems that a rift has formed between them that is difficult to mend. This hanging period is when Finn and Steffi fall into an in-between state. They are no longer closely attached, but have not completely broken up. Steffi chose to leave Finn to find peace of mind, while Finn was still struggling with his relationship with his daughter Luna and his lingering feelings for Steffi. After many days without receiving any contact from Finn, Steffi began to worry. Even though they were in the process of unofficially separating, she still cared about Finn. His sudden disappearance made her have a bad feeling. Steffi tried calling and texting Finn many times, but got no response. She even contacted some of Finn's colleagues at the hospital, but no one saw him appear. This was very unusual, because Finn was always responsible for his work and had never been absent without a reason. Finn's office became the last place Steffi could go to hope to see him. Driven by a hunch and lingering concern, Steffi decided to go to the office to find out what was going on. On the way, Steffi's mood was mixed, from worrying about Finn's safety to confusion about her own feelings. She realized that, despite deciding to divorce, she still couldn't deny her deep feelings for him. As soon as she entered the office, Steffi felt the strong smell of alcohol in the air. She was shocked when she looked down at the floor and saw empty wine bottles rolling around. This was no longer the image of the dignified, responsible doctor she once knew. She was extremely shocked when she saw Finn lying in the corner, seemingly unconscious. The empty wine bottles and Finn's haggard appearance were a huge shock. The husband, who had nominally overcome his illness with great strength, now collapsed in an unexpected way. Steffi immediately ran to him, shaking him, but Finn did not respond. His eyes were hazy, his breath reeked of alcohol, his face was haggard. In that moment, Steffi remembered the time Finn was being treated for liver cancer. She knew very well that this disease was very dangerous and the doctor had told Finn to absolutely limit alcohol. Finn drinking too much alcohol could seriously damage his liver. A series of thoughts appeared in Steffi's mind. Why did he embark on this path? Was it because of too much pressure from Luna, from the broken marriage with Steffi, or because he was no longer strong enough to cope with all the events? Steffi felt angry, disappointed, but above all, worried. She wanted to call an ambulance, but at the same time she was torn apart by pain. She was the one who asked for a divorce. She was the one who pushed him into a state of loneliness. In a moment of extreme confusion, Steffi decided to leave the office, perhaps because she thought he was just drunk and would wake up on his own. Or she felt too angry, not wanting to face that person who was losing control. The most painful thing was that Steffi's decision to leave had unintentionally become the end of Finn's life. His body was no longer as healthy as a normal person because he had experienced liver cancer. Taking in a large amount of alcohol into the body caused liver failure, seriously affecting the circulatory and respiratory systems. When Steffi had just stepped out of the office, Finn had difficulty breathing. Due to not receiving timely emergency care, he quickly fell into a dangerous situation. No one else was in the office at that time to help Finn. By the time a colleague accidentally discovered it, Finn was unconscious. Although he was taken to the hospital, it was too late. Finn could not overcome the crisis and passed away forever. A colleague of Finn's at the hospital was the one who called Steffi, informing her of his condition. The phone call was like a thunderbolt. Steffi was shocked, feeling her heart tighten. She realized that leaving just now might have taken away her last chance to save Finn. If she had stayed, called an ambulance or done something, maybe Finn wouldn't have died. Steffi immediately rushed to the hospital with a small hope that it wasn't too late. On the way, she prayed, twisted, and blamed herself, thinking about everything that had happened. Entering the hospital room, Steffi saw Finn lying quietly on the bed, his face covered with a white cloth. This was the most terrifying moment of her life. The harsh truth came. Finn was gone. All her hopes, love, regrets, and even her desire to save the relationship collapsed at that moment. Steffi collapsed, crying. She touched his hand, hoping for some warmth, but in return was only the coldness of death. All the memories of love, warmth, and the hardships they had overcome together suddenly appeared, like slow motion. Most painfully, Steffi knew that her decision to leave when she saw him drunk had taken away her last chance to save him. Steffi kept asking herself, if I had stayed, called an ambulance, woke him up, he could have been saved. In the world of The Bold and the Beautiful, characters often face irreparable losses, and this torment will become a part of Steffi's personality for a long time. She torments herself for not putting love first, for letting anger cloud her judgment. If she hadn't decided to leave, Finn would still have had a chance to overcome his illness. More painfully, they could have reconciled, or at least Finn wouldn't have had to leave alone. The Bold and the Beautiful has always attracted audiences with its intertwined relationships, family secrets, and dramatic elements related to love, honor, and jealousy. Finn's death was the climax, a shock strong enough to completely change the direction of many characters, especially Steffi. This is a tear-jerking event that promises to bring about some tragic episodes, but also gives the characters room to show their inner depth. For a long-running show like The Bold and the Beautiful, this detail is enough to become the center of many episodes, while also creating the premise for the characters to react, transform, and grow. Finn's death was a shock not only to Steffi, but to all The Bold and the Beautiful fans. This development could open a new phase for the series, where Steffi has to live with her regret and can find a way to make amends by helping Luna or dedicating herself to charity work related to liver disease prevention, or supporting other cancer patients, turning her pain into a positive force.
Oh,